Attention. 5 things you should never receive from anyone. Buddhist teachings. Have you ever wondered if there are things you should never accept from others? Could it be that what we choose to receive might be affecting our peace and spiritual well-being? In today's video, we will uncover the 5 things you should never receive from anyone according to Buddhist teachings. Stay tuned, as this could change the way you approach your daily interactions and guide you towards a more serene and enlightened life. Before we dive in, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel Buddhism Insight for more insights into Buddhist teachings. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's get started. In Buddhism, the emphasis is on inner peace and spiritual awakening. One way to achieve this is by being mindful of what we accept from others. Here are 5 things you should never receive if you wish to cultivate a serene and enlightened life. 1. Negative energy. Negative energy is like a dark cloud that can overshadow our peace and well-being. In Buddhism, everything in the universe is interconnected, and the energy we emit and absorb plays a crucial role in shaping our inner and outer worlds. Negative energy can come in many forms: anger, jealousy, resentment, and hostility. When we accept these energies from others, we allow them to seep into our consciousness, disrupting our mental clarity and emotional balance. But why is it so important to protect ourselves from negative energy? When we absorb negativity, it can trigger our own negative emotions, leading to a vicious cycle of suffering. For example, if someone approaches us with anger or bitterness, it's easy to mirror that energy, reacting with anger or frustration ourselves. This not only escalates the situation, but also deepens our own inner turmoil. Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of maintaining a calm and compassionate mind. By refusing to accept negative energy from others, we create a protective barrier around our inner peace. This doesn't mean ignoring or avoiding those who are struggling with negativity, but rather not allowing their emotional state to dictate our own. We can still offer compassion and support without absorbing their negativity. One practical way to shield ourselves from negative energy is through mindfulness. By staying present and aware, we can recognize when someone is projecting negativity towards us. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can choose to respond with calmness and understanding, or even decide to remove ourselves from the situation if needed. This mindful approach not only preserves our peace, but also sets a positive example for others. Remember, our energy is precious. Just as we wouldn't consume food that is harmful to our bodies, we shouldn't accept energy that is harmful to our minds and spirits. By being selective about the energy we allow into our lives, we cultivate a space of positivity and spiritual growth. Protect your peace and choose wisely what you allow to enter your heart and mind. 2. Material excess. In the modern world, we're often bombarded with messages that equate happiness and success with the accumulation of material possessions. But in Buddhism, this mindset is seen as a potential obstacle to spiritual growth. Material excess refers to the overaccumulation of possessions beyond what we truly need. While it's natural to acquire items for comfort or convenience, an excess can lead to attachment, greed, and a cluttered mind. Buddhism teaches that attachment to material things can trap us in a cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. The more we acquire, the more we may feel the need to acquire even more, believing that the next purchase will bring us lasting happiness. However, this often leads to the opposite effect. Instead of feeling fulfilled, we may find ourselves constantly yearning for more, never truly satisfied with what we have. But why should we avoid receiving material excess from others? When we accept unnecessary material goods from others, we risk reinforcing this cycle of attachment and desire. We might also start to define our self-worth based on the things we own rather than our inner qualities. This external focus can distract us from the deeper, more meaningful aspects of life, like cultivating compassion, wisdom, and inner peace. Moreover, material excess can create physical and mental clutter. A home filled with unnecessary items can lead to a chaotic environment, which in turn can cause stress and anxiety. In contrast, a simple, uncluttered space allows the mind to rest and focus on what truly matters. The same principle applies to our mental and emotional spaces. When we clear away the excess, whether it's material possessions, unnecessary thoughts, or emotional baggage, we create room for spiritual growth and clarity. Buddhist monks exemplify this principle by living with only the essentials, allowing them to focus on their spiritual practices without the distractions of worldly possessions. While we may not live as ascetically, we can still apply this wisdom in our daily lives by being mindful of what we accept and what we choose to keep. To live simply is to live in alignment with the middle way, a key teaching in Buddhism that advocates for balance, avoiding both extremes of excess and deprivation. By saying no to material excess, we create a life that is rich in meaning rather than possessions. This approach not only nurtures our own spiritual journey, but also sets an example of mindful living for others. 3. Gossip and slander. Gossip and slander are often seen as harmless forms of conversation, but in Buddhist teachings, they are considered highly detrimental to both the speaker and the listener. Gossip involves talking about someone behind their back, often sharing private or unverified information, while slander takes this a step further by spreading falsehoods or malicious statements that can harm a person's reputation. These actions not only damage relationships, but also corrupt the mind and soul. Buddhism places a strong emphasis on the power of speech. The words we choose can either create harmony and understanding or cause discord and suffering. When we engage in gossip or listen to slander, we contribute to a cycle of negativity. We allow ourselves to be drawn into harmful conversations that often have no constructive purpose and that can lead to hurt feelings, mistrust, and division among people. But why is it important to avoid receiving gossip and slander from others? Receiving gossip and slander can be as harmful as spreading it. When we listen to gossip, we are complicit in the act, giving it our silent approval and possibly even passing it on to others. This not only spreads the negativity further, but also taints our own mind with unwholesome thoughts. Even if we don't actively spread the gossip, just hearing it can influence our perceptions and judgments of others, leading us to form biased or negative opinions that may be unjustified. Buddhist teachings encourage us to practice right speech, one of the steps in the Noble Eightfold Path. Right speech involves speaking truthfully, kindly, and beneficially, and avoiding harmful speech such as lying, gossiping, or harsh words. By adhering to right speech, we cultivate a mind that is pure, peaceful, and free from the clutter of unnecessary and harmful thoughts. Furthermore, when we refuse to engage in gossip or listen to slander, we protect our relationships and our own inner peace. We become known as someone who values truth and integrity, which encourages others to speak and act more mindfully in our presence. This helps to create an environment of trust and respect, where communication is open and honest, and relationships can flourish. One practical way to avoid receiving gossip and slander is to gently steer the conversation in a more positive or neutral direction when someone begins to gossip. Alternatively, we can excuse ourselves from the conversation if it becomes too negative. By doing so, we not only protect our own mind, but also subtly encourage others to reflect on their words and actions. In Buddhism, the mind is likened to a garden. Just as we wouldn't want to plant weeds in our garden, we shouldn't allow the seeds of gossip and slander to take root in our minds. By being mindful of the words we hear and speak, we cultivate a mental environment that is conducive to peace, wisdom, and spiritual growth. 4. Fear and doubt. Fear and doubt are powerful emotions that can paralyze our spiritual progress and cloud our judgment. In Buddhist teachings, these emotions are often seen as obstacles that keep us from realizing our true potential and understanding the deeper truths of existence. Fear can manifest as anxiety, worry, or even terror, while doubt can take the form of skepticism, indecision, or a lack of faith in ourselves or the path we are on. These emotions are natural and can arise from time to time, but when we allow them to take hold, they can become deeply ingrained patterns that hinder our ability to live fully and peacefully. Fear often stems from the unknown or from past experiences that have left a mark on us. It can cause us to retreat into ourselves, avoiding challenges and opportunities for growth. Doubt, on the other hand, can make us question our abilities, our beliefs, and even the teachings that guide us. But why should we be careful about receiving fear and doubt from others? When someone projects their fears or doubts onto us, it can be incredibly contagious. Just as positive energy can uplift us, negative emotions like fear and doubt can seep into our consciousness, making us second-guess our choices, beliefs, and even our worth. If we're not careful, we may start to internalize these doubts, allowing them to influence our decisions and actions in ways that are not aligned with our true self or spiritual path.
In Buddhism, the concept of Mara, a demon who represents the forces of temptation and obstruction, can be understood as a personification of these very emotions. Mara seeks to disrupt our progress on the path to enlightenment by instilling fear, doubt, and other negative states of mind. By recognizing these emotions as obstacles, we can begin to see them for what they are: temporary, illusory states that do not define us. To protect ourselves from the negative impact of fear and doubt, it's important to cultivate faith. Faith in ourselves, in the teachings, and in the journey we are on. This doesn't mean blindly accepting everything without question, but rather developing a deep trust in our own ability to overcome obstacles and in the wisdom of the teachings that guide us. When we encounter fear or doubt, whether from within or from others, we can gently acknowledge it, but choose not to let it dictate our actions or cloud our judgment. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation, can help us observe these emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. Through mindfulness, we can learn to see fear and doubt as passing clouds in the sky of our consciousness, temporary and insubstantial. We don't have to chase them away or fight against them. We simply let them pass, returning our focus to the present moment and the clarity it offers. By refusing to accept fear and doubt from others, we affirm our commitment to our spiritual path and our belief in the potential for growth and enlightenment. We create a space of confidence and courage within ourselves, which in turn radiates outwards, inspiring others to face their own fears and doubts with strength and wisdom. 5. Ill-gotten gains. Ill-gotten gains refer to money or possessions acquired through dishonest, unethical, or immoral means. This could include anything from theft, corruption, fraud, or even exploiting others for personal gain. In Buddhism, the concept of karma teaches us that our actions have consequences, not only for our present life, but also for our future lives. Acquiring wealth or possessions through wrongful means can set into motion a cycle of negative karma, which can have far-reaching effects on our spiritual journey. But why is it so important to avoid receiving ill-gotten gains? When we accept something that has been obtained through unethical means, we become complicit in the actions that brought it about. Even if we didn't directly commit the wrong, by accepting the fruits of such actions, we implicitly endorse the behavior that led to them. This can weigh heavily on our conscience, creating feelings of guilt, unease, and moral conflict. Moreover, ill-gotten gains carry with them the energy of the actions that produced them. Money obtained through harm or deceit is tainted, and when we bring it into our lives, it can bring with it a host of negative consequences. This could manifest as stress, anxiety, or even the unraveling of our sense of integrity. In the long run, such gains often lead to more suffering than benefit, both for ourselves and for others. Buddhist teachings emphasize right livelihood, one of the steps on the Noble Eightfold Path. Right livelihood encourages us to earn our living in a way that is ethical, honest, and free from harm to others. When we adhere to this principle, we create a life that is in harmony with the values of compassion, integrity, and respect for all beings. This not only supports our own spiritual development but also contributes to the well-being of society as a whole. Accepting ill-gotten gains can also disrupt our peace of mind. Deep down, we may always be aware that something is not right, that what we have acquired was not earned through honest or fair means. This can lead to a restless mind, plagued by the fear of being discovered or by the inner conflict between our actions and our values. In contrast, wealth or possessions earned through honest and ethical means bring a sense of satisfaction and peace. When we know that we have worked hard and fairly for what we have, we can enjoy it fully without the burden of guilt or the fear of negative repercussions. This kind of wealth, whether material or spiritual, is sustainable and brings true fulfillment. Finally, by refusing to accept ill-gotten gains, we make a powerful statement about our values and our commitment to living a life of integrity. We inspire others to do the same, contributing to a culture of honesty and ethical behavior. In this way, we not only protect our own spiritual path, but also help to create a more just and compassionate world. Conclusion. As we've explored today, the things we choose to accept from others can have a profound impact on our lives, whether it's energy, material possessions, words, emotions, or the way we earn our living. By being mindful of what we receive, we protect our inner peace, cultivate positive karma, and stay true to the values that guide us on our spiritual journey. These teachings remind us that our choices shape our reality. By consciously deciding what to let into our lives, we create a space of clarity, compassion, and growth, a space where we can thrive and help others do the same. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of the 5 things you should never receive from anyone, according to Buddhist teachings. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with those who could benefit from these teachings. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel Buddhism Insight and hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos. May your journey be filled with wisdom, peace, and light. Until next time, take care and keep striving towards a more enlightened life.